Good morning, students. So I wanted to go over a few things for the upcoming week, and this won't be your only video. I try not to cover up my face. The only video for this week, but I want to give you some reminders. First, and I'm not trying to be too cruel on this, but this is an honors level course. You are expected to check Canvas every single day, multiple times a day, throughout the day, to ensure that you're doing everything. Remember, we're not having live lectures, we're not having live class. It is your responsibility to fulfill every single task. You had a quiz yesterday, all right? You had a quiz and some people didn't complete it. You're gonna get a 0. There's no exception to that, all right? You need to fulfill your responsibilities. That's so important, okay? Now, some of you are getting confused about what this task is on. I made a post. I made an announcement last Friday, okay? Look at this. This was last Friday. This was the 27th at 9 in the morning. Let's look at the date here. 27th, 9 in the morning. Weekend work. Read and be prepared. Read and be prepared. What do you think be prepared for? When I told you there was always a chance in other videos and in postings that there could be unannounced quiz. And then you had this. Now, there is no excuse whatsoever not to be successful on because as you already know, this is, I can't stop you from using your notes. So you'll have your notes. And your notes are supposed to be handwritten. And I told you, says, make sure to read and take notes. Now, you're not going to upload your notes, but you could have had your notes for this reading quiz. So that gets to the next point. Do not, I repeat, do not send me a message asking me to redo a quiz. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Now, that's not me being cruel. That's not me being understanding. But I told you when I first introduced myself, the expectations that I have for you. You have notes in front of you. There is no excuse for not being successful. Now, if you're struggling with content, you're struggling with what you're reading, you had multiple days to contact me. You had Friday, you had Saturday, you had Sunday, you had Monday, because this quiz wasn't due until late last night. Not a single person contacted me and asked me questions about the content. Now, some of you are getting confused about what to read. Let's go over it real quick here. This is chapter 1. I had posted it for you. This is chapter 1. See, U.S. chapter 1. Now, let's scroll down here, okay? Scroll up. Look, section 1. Let's scroll down further. Section 2. Not understanding something is not an excuse to ask for a redo on a quiz. You ask questions as you progress through the material. This class, again, is self-driven for the most part. You need to ask questions. Ask questions in the teams. Some of you haven't even joined the Teams group yet. Again, this is an honors level course. I'm willing to work as hard as you work. I am willing to help you. Don't think I don't want you to ask me questions. But the type of questions are, Mr. Klepper, I don't really understand what I'm reading here, or can you explain this further? I will gladly answer those questions, and we're going to start getting into that today. But you need to make sure that you are doing the work. Asking me questions like, can I have a redo? Or can I have an extension? Or after the assignment's due, I didn't understand the assignment, can you explain it? That's not acceptable whatsoever. Not ever acceptable. You need to be proactive. This is a college preparatory class. You will have these types of classes in college. I had these types of classes in college where I'm in a class with 200 students and I'm lucky if my professor gets back to me in a couple days. I got back to many of you after this quiz debacle within minutes. I'm willing to do my part. I'm willing to teach you. I'm willing to help you. I'm willing to answer every question you have when it comes to the content. But I get very, very frustrated when people ask for redos and extensions and all this stuff. That's unacceptable. You are in a college preparatory honors level class. You are held to a high standard. You need to be proactive. Again, I will work with you. I will work with you. I will help you. I will guide you. I will answer questions about the content and explain and do videos like this where I explain and show you things. I will do that. But what I won't do is allow your poor choices at times, and there were some poor choices made, to give you a reprieve on those poor choices. You need to learn that there are consequences for poor choices. And yes, that is a very tough statement. There's consequences for poor choices. Now, we can overcome that. If you failed the quiz yesterday, don't worry. We're going to have a lot of quizzes. A lot of assignments. This is not a class where there's a little amount of assignments or a few quizzes. Like, oh my God, I'll never get the quiz grade. There is going to be a lot. Now, I don't know if you want to hear that, but there's going to be a lot. Don't freak out. You'll probably have at least one more quiz this week, maybe two, and you're going to have other assignments, okay? But it's your responsibility. It's a proactive online class, and I'm trying to teach you because when you get to the next level and you have these types of college classes, those college professors are not going to hold your hand. They, to be quite honest, they don't even pay attention who turns in the work because they'll set up their system to assign automatic zeros for people that don't turn in the work. Now, let's talk about some mechanics of the quiz. Okay, and I can't really go into it because I don't want to show people's grades. Once you start this quiz, or had started it, you cannot bounce in and out of the quiz. You can't. Once you start that quiz, that timer goes. That's why it is imperative that you have your notes written out already. You have your notes written out. Bouncing in and out of the quiz will cause it to possibly crash. Now, in those cases, I can see it happening. But from now on, there is no more excuse. You stay inside that quiz and finish it. Because I know some of you tried to bounce out to find answers and Google things. That ain't going to happen. It ain't going to be good. You need to have your notes on your paper. That's why we handwrite notes. Okay? That's why we handwrite notes. And then take your quiz onto your tablet or your computer. That's the way it's going to happen. All right? Also, when it comes to assignments, you need to make sure that things get uploaded. Now, I don't think anybody didn't upload this. But when it comes to, remember what I showed you in a video ago, you need to, when you hit that upload button, you need to see that notification and then go into the assignment to make sure it says submission successful or submitted successfully. That's your responsibility, not mine. Because if it's not uploaded, it's not my fault. Responsibility. Responsibility. Okay? Again, I'm not trying to be cold-hearted or cruel on this. But I'm going to teach you responsibility, and sometimes the toughest lessons are the lessons with the most severe consequences. All right? But that doesn't mean I don't want you to ask me questions. I want you to ask me questions about the content, about learning, about assignments prior to the due date, quizzes prior to the due date. But there is one question that I don't like prior. What's on the quiz? Don't ask me what's like. Do I need to know this? That's a terrible question. You need to know everything. Ask me to explain something. Don't ask me to hold your hand. All right? Again, I'm here to help you, but it's your responsibility. All right? So, for today, you will have a discussion post on the material from sections 1, 2, and 3. You will have a discussion post where not only where you'll need to answer some questions, but you'll need to respond back to some questions. And I'll post that later today. So make sure to look for it. Now, I don't know when you're watching this video because it might already be posted. But make sure to get that done. Okay? And yes, there will be other reading quizzes. There'll be other reading assignments. All right? If you have any questions, don't hesitate to Teams me or email me. I will talk to you later. Goodbye.